Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your October 2017 general readings. As you can see from my background, I am back from a few months of wandering around Europe, back in my more or less home base in the States of California. More or less because I do like to travel quite a bit, but thanks to the wonderful internet these days, I continue to post and work the same no matter what corner of the world I happen to be exploring, as we live in an extraordinary world, and I do like to see as much of it as I can. Thank you always for those of you who continue, regardless of where I'm at, to watch and listen and follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you to those of you who continue to keep me so busy in reaching out for those personal one-on-one readings, and to my regular clients as well. And if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me and you haven't read with me before, you can go to my YouTube channel's homepage. I know that YouTube's changed the format again recently. You can go to my YouTube channel's homepage and click on the About or Description button, which should give you a little more information, and has my email address, which is Maggie, the number 1, McGuire@gmail.com. That's MAGGIE, the number 1, MCGUIRE@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week. It is what I do. So current turnaround time for personal readings, live or recorded, is anywhere between 1 and 3 weeks, almost always within that period of time. And I can usually get back with you within a day of your initial contact. So send me an email if you're interested. I'm sure we can set something up for you. I do a wide variety of readings, love and romance, of course. I do compatibility charting for relationships, career, work, and finance readings, career overviews, 6 and 12-month life overviews, channeled messages from passed on loved ones, spiritual cleansings, and I also do offer package deals of most often 3 and 6 months for those of you who like to have order 3 or 6 months at a time of monthly readings or bi-weekly readings, particularly if you're involved in a fluid, ongoing situation. So again, if you're interested, send me an email. We'll go from there. Moving right along, these are general readings. There's many of you watching, thousands of you watching, so of course they're not going to mean the same thing to the same degree and intensity for everybody watching. For some of you, this may resonate more of a relationship reading. For others of you, it may be in career, work, finance. For others of you, it might be in spirituality or creative or artistic endeavors. It really just depends on who you are, what's going on in your life. But as I always say, while the details and specifics may vary, depending on who's watching, the energy fundamentally remains the same in what area of your life it manifests in. But to that effect, that's why we usually suggest that you watch your rising and your moon sign videos as well. You may find that they play out more predictably, and by watching all 3, you can often get additional insight and clarity into what's going on in your life. Okay, enough of the rambling. Let's get right into it. This reading is for the air sign of Gemini, Gemini the twins, for October 2017. Let us see what is in store for the 2 different facets of Gemini, the twins, for October 2017. Gemini. Okay. Gemini, we have the 2 of Swords, followed by the Ace of Pentacles. We have the 2 of Wands, followed by the 9 of Cups. We have the 4 of Swords, followed by Justice, and the 6 of Wands, followed by the World. And from the bottom of the deck, overall energy and guidance is the Knight of Pentacles. So this is coming across pretty clearly already. But let me just take another look here. Fairly even scattering of elemental energy. We have 2 Pentacles, 2 Swords, 2 Wands, 1 Cup, 2 major arcana cards, Justice, and the World. It looks like Gemini Looks like you're contemplating making some tangible changes in your life. It looks like there may be an offer or opportunity on the table in front of you. Now, this is for October 2017, but time being somewhat fluid, as I always say, I'm recording these in the last week of September, so this could definitely be something that's begun in September. Looks like there's perhaps an offer or an opportunity, or you're thinking about making some changes, some tangible changes in your life, or you're considering an offer or opportunity to make a tangible change. That move may include, that change may include a move or a relocation. And I feel like you may be a little bit stuck in trying to figure out whether or not to actually make, what to do about it actually, and also that there's a reluctance or resistance maybe to do anything about it right now. You may not be wanting to make a decision at all, or to look at it too head on right now, which is what the Two of Swords, which we begin with, signifies. But the fact that it's shown up means that while there may not be a sense of immediacy about it, the fact that the Two of Swords has come up represents that, you know, sooner or later, and probably sooner rather than later, you should make a decision, make a choice on which path to choose here. It's right next to the Two of Wands, which is about making a decision, choosing a path to. What's going to help you is kind of focusing on long-term goals. So we begin with the Two of Swords, accompanied by the Ace of Pentacles. You know, I'm actually going to start with your crowning card, which represents, from the bottom of the deck, which represents overall energy and guidance. You have the Knight of Pentacles here. So you have earth energy, which is the element which governs the suit of Pentacles. Usually energy that manifests in the earthly, concrete, day-to-day life that we live, area of our life. Things we can see and touch and feel. Things like money, finances, job, resources, property, assets, etc. Knights are the deliverers of the tarot. They are the methods by which things are delivered. They can also represent what you're called to do and the speed at which a situation moves, because that was the role of knights in medieval times. They were charged with missions and quests, being very single-minded, focused, almost fanatical in achieving that, and not coming back until they brought back results, you know. So they can often represent offers or opportunities that are coming into you, or that you need to go out and get. So this Knight of Pentacles represents, because it's earth energy, it represents a tangible offer or opportunity in nature. This could be, I mean, it could be anything as small or mundane as an offer to move, an offer to help somebody move. I've seen this come up for that too. But looking at the Ace of Pentacles and needing to make a decision, it looks like there's an offer or opportunity incoming, or one that you're considering about taking. And this is something, it's a practical thing. It's something that's going to make a tangible, visible, feel it kind of difference in your life. And it may include a move or a relocation, or be about a move or relocation. Could also be starting a new job, and it could be a combination of that, moving or relocating to start a new job. So it's all about what to do about that. The Knight of Pentacles, and also kind of the other combination of cards, it looks like Spirit, it looks like it's supporting the option of actually taking this. But of course, we live in a free will zone. As I always say, we're given free will to make our choices, which is how we learn and grow and evolve, which is why we're here. So, you know, at the end of the day, you can do whatever you think is best for you. So we start off with that Two of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. So the Two of Swords, swords is air energy. It's intellectual energy, mental, cerebral energy. It's about what goes on up in our heads, how we look at things, our thoughts, our belief systems, and how that affects the way that we communicate. Swords is also about truth, education, wisdom, insight, knowledge, learning. It's all about what goes on up here in our heads. So the Two of Swords is a card about trying to make a decision, needing to make a decision, maybe going back and forth about it, maybe feeling kind of stuck. The blindfold can represent not knowing what might be the best decision, but also the sword, the blindfold can often represent that you're not wanting to look at something too closely, because if you take the blindfold and look off and look at it directly, then you're going to be in a position where you kind of have to make a decision. So there's almost a sense sometimes with the Two of Swords of keeping your head stuck in the sand, of not really wanting to address an issue yet. The fact that it's come up is kind of a message from Spirit saying, you know, you really need to make a choice. You need to act on this. And the fact that it's swords too represents too that what you might need to, what you might find helpful is using more of your intellect to kind of look at this issue rather than let it be this kind of, amorphous sort of feeling energy inside of you. The Two of Swords can represent needing to use more rational or intellectual thought in taking a look at this and allowing that to kind of help guide your decision-making process as well. The Two of Swords is paired with the Ace of Pentacles, so more earth energy here. Aces represent always new beginnings, new opportunities, taking something in a new direction. They can be the governing energy and the crowning energy in a reading as well. So here's the Ace of Pentacles, more of that tangible earth energy. So new beginnings, new opportunities. Again, these are tangible in nature. This is a new beginning or opportunity which would make a tangible difference in your life, one that you could actually see and feel on a practical, day-to-day life kind of way. This is often the card that comes up for moving, relocating, starting a new job. It can also sometimes represent an unexpected sum of money coming in, but again, it's an unexpected sum of money which would garner you the resources or help that you need in order to start something new as well. So, but I think for the majority of you, especially looking at your crowning card, that Knight of Pentacles, there's an offer or opportunity, something that's been presented to you, or something that you're thinking about. Maybe you feel compelled to go out and make this change, grab this opportunity. It's going to make a tangible difference. It could be moving, relocating, starting a new job, maybe getting a loan for something, something that's going to make a tangible difference in your life and start something new in a tangible way. But you're feeling kind of stuck, and you're maybe kind of floating between looking at it and not wanting to look at it, not wanting to look at it too closely because you're afraid of actually taking the action on it. Aces represent seeds too, that hold a lot of potential, but they can also fizzle out if they're not carried through and nurtured so that they can grow and manifest their full potential, because that's what seeds are. You plant them, but the job's not done, and you have to plant them in the right soil at the right time, and you have to feed them and water them and take care of them so that they can grow to their full potential and eventually end up giving back to you. So it looks like something that holds a lot of potential if it's followed through with. But again, there's this sense maybe at the end of September, beginning of October, I don't know if I want to do this. I'm maybe avoiding making a decision about it. Now, next to that, we have the Two of Wands, followed by the Nine of Cups. So the Two of Wands, here we have fire energy. Which is the element which governs the Suit of Wands. It's a fiery energy. Fire energy in the Suit of Wands is creative, manifesting energy. It's very fluid, action-oriented, forward-moving, change, movement, power. It's all about building and creating and manifesting. The Two of Wands, and it's sitting next to the Two of Swords, is again about needing to make a choice, being at a crossroads, which this man is, and needing to choose a path. Do I go left? Do I go right? Do I take this opportunity? Do I take that opportunity? There's no standing still. It's an illusion. Needing to make a choice and not knowing, okay, which one do I make? Now the key, and the implication with the Two of Wands too, is that the path this man has trodden so far, and it's still early on in the journey because we're only at the two, the path that this man has trodden so far, he's done pretty well at, and that may be part of your reticence or reluctance in making a decision. Maybe you're comfortable where you're at too, and even though you're thinking, oh, there's something new I could do, or I could take this offer or opportunity, reach out and grab it, or accept it, or go for it myself, but I'm okay where I'm at now too, so there may be some fear, doubt, anxiety around that. The key to choosing the right path in the Two of Wands is in long-term thinking and planning. It's not in thinking about what you have now and what's around you now and what your comfort level is now. It's about looking ahead. So whatever area of your life this may be manifesting in, whether it's the relationship area of your life, whether it's work and career, finances, or your spiritual life, or artistic or creative endeavors or projects, it's about looking at what your long-term goal is in whatever area of your life this may resonate in. What's your long-term goal? Where do you eventually want to end up at? And once you have your destination in mind, then it makes the road getting there a lot clearer. If you don't know where you're going, if you don't know what you want at the end of the road, you don't know which road to take. You're just going to kind of meander around and not really get much accomplished. So it's about thinking long-term. And it's also about, once you know what your long-term goal is, you take a look back around at your present, and people, places, situation, anything that you're involved in now that isn't helping move you closer to that long-term goal, or at least not getting in your way, you need to pretty much kind of pare down or distance yourself from, because it's not going to be of use to you. So the key and what you might find helpful in making this decision, Gemini, is in looking at long-term goals and plans. Where do you actually want to end up? And is this move, is this offer or opportunity going to move you closer to that goal, further you to that goal, get you to that goal? Or at least not stand in your way? Is it a move closer to what you want down the road? The Two of Wands is paired with the Nine of Cups. So here we have water energy, which is the element which governs the Suit of Cups. And this energy manifests in the emotional area of our life, emotions, feelings, and relationships as well. The Nine of Cups is actually nicknamed the wish fulfillment card, the getting what you want, kind of your cups overflowing, the winning the lottery card. Not that you're going to win the lottery. I mean, you might. If you do, message me. I want to know. But it's about kind of getting everything that you want. Of course, the cautionary advice with this being, be careful what you ask for, you just might get it. But it's about your cups overflowing, having more than enough, particularly in a physical, decadent, almost sensual sense, having more than enough to eat or drink, physical surroundings being comfortable, having so much that you have enough to share with friends and family. Just a lovely, lovely, overflowing abundance, decadent energy, what you want. And actually, so paired with the Two of Wands, again, long-term goals and thinking. Is this where your joy and fulfillment and sense of abundance is going to come from? And also, it may be also that you're feeling stuck between what you have now, the comfort of what you have now, and making any changes to attain longer term goals, because you may be afraid that you may have to give up or compromise or sacrifice part of what you have now in order to get that. So there may be that as well. But there's a sense of also, is this, where does my joy and fulfillment and sense of abundance come from? What do I really want long term? And kind of examining that as well. Now moving forward into the Four of Swords, followed by Justice. The Four of Swords is a card about taking a time out. It can be a card that shows up when you're feeling tired, worn out, exhausted, maybe being involved in conflict and needing to kind of temporarily withdraw from that, which is what this soldier is doing. He's still girded for battle, which implies that he's in the middle of something that he's not completed yet. But for the time being, he's withdrawing from it to rest, recuperate, recover, maybe get a different perspective, go within, get some insight. It is Swords energy, which is that intellectual air energy too. So there is also an implication and an indication in the advice that Spirit is advising you to kind of take a step back and look at this and approach it with a more rational, intellectual approach than maybe what you've been doing before, which is maybe avoiding it, not really thinking about it, or letting your emotions kind of do the thinking, which is never a good idea, especially when you're trying to make important life decisions. We want a balance between emotions and thought as well. But I think you're being advised to take a step back, take some time out, and look at this with a more rational, intellectual approach as well. What do I really want long term? Is this change going to help me affect that? Where does my sense of joy and abundance come from? And what do I really want in the end? The Four of Swords is paired with Justice, which is a major arcana card. And it's the reap what you sow card. It's Justice is blind, meaning that the outcome, the results of something are going to depend entirely upon what it's built on, what's put into it, tit for tat. What you put into something is directly going to affect what you get out of it. If you put in a half-hearted effort in this, or your heart's not really into it, then the results are going to be kind of half-hearted and lackluster as well. In the upright position, it does represent contracts and negotiations working out in your favor. But paired with the Four of Swords, I feel like taking some time out. Again, Justice is a very rational card. It's a very fact-based, evidence-based, card that the results are based on the tangible efforts. It's not what you want or what you wish or what you hope for or what you intended. The results are going to be based on the efforts you put into something. So again, strong advice on taking some time out and taking a very rational, intellectual look at whatever this offer or opportunity is and your long-term goals as well. I think I'm getting this feeling, Gemini, that for a lot of you, you're in a comfortable place, or even if it's not all that comfortable, or you might not be all that happy with it, it's familiar, you're used to it. Again, whether this is in job, work, and career, whether this is in your spiritual life, whether this is in your relationship life, there's a fairly even balancing of elemental energies, and it's a general reading. So for some of you, it's going to be one area. For some of you, it's going to be another. But the energy remains the same. You're used to where you're at. There's an opportunity or offer in front of you, or one that you're thinking about. But really, your sense of abundance and happiness and whether you get to that long-term goal or not is really going to depend on your actions, what you actually do, not what you're thinking or hoping about, but what you actually do to get it. And you need to take a more rational, intellectual approach to that in making this decision. That's what you're going to find helpful and useful. Now, the Six of Wands and the World at the end of the month, in some ways, it's very similar energy. The Six of Wands is a card of victory, triumph, success after tribulation, triumph after a struggle. It can be a card of personal, it can be a card of public recognition as well, being recognized for your efforts, you know, maybe receiving an award or kudos or being acknowledged publicly for something that you've done, victory and triumph. So in a sense, it's a card that speaks about a celebration, or experiencing that sense of victory and success and triumph or recognition, you know, from what you've done. It's kind of like towards the end of the process, or at the end of the process, that lovely end process of enjoying things after the work is done. And I say that because it's paired with the World card, and I feel like the energies are connecting there. The World is a card of completion. It's the last card in the Tarot, Major Arcana card, and it's a card of completion. It's a card about reaching a milestone. You've reached a turning point, which represents the completion, kind of the end of one chapter, the end of a long stretch of effort you've put into something while you're considering what next to do. My analogy for the World card is that you've reached the top of a mountain, and while you've climbed other mountains before, this one has held some special significance for you, regardless of what area of your life it's in. And the World card is about reaching the top, feeling like you're on top of the world, really enjoying that, kind of similar to the Six of Wands, going, wow, I made it. Look what I was capable of. I didn't think I would, and now I'm here. I wonder what else I'm capable of. Taking a minute to kind of acknowledge that. Self-empowerment, self-love, and acceptance, looking at all the effort you've put into that, looking back down at the path it took from getting you from where you started to where you are now, and acknowledging that, and exploring the potential and opportunities of what you might be capable of coming next. And paired with the Six of Wands, which is a celebration card of a body of effort you've put into something as well. But together, again, it has this kind of, it's victory and celebration and triumph, but again, it's kind of at a completion stage. So while you may be comfortable where you're at or used to where you're at, you're considering something new, you may feel like you're stuck. I don't know if I want to do this new thing or take this new opportunity or move to the next level of this or change. You don't have to. You can completely stay where you're at. But it looks like with the path that you've been on, you've done what you came to do, or you can't take this any further. You've completed a certain portion of this. You're not going to get any more out of the phase that you're at now, whether it's a job or a project or a relationship. If you want more, you're going to have to go to the next level, do something more, deeper, or start something new. That much is clear. If not, you can stay where you're at, but you're not going to get anything new or different either, because that's kind of That's kind of the feeling that's coming here. Overall, again, your energy, your crowning card being the Knight of Pentacles, tangible offers or opportunities. This also could be a signifier of you needing to go out and tangibly do the effort to actually put this new beginning in place, because justice says that the results will match what the efforts are. So take a more rational, intellectual approach to this for the month of October, Gemini, and we'll see how it plays out. It'll be interesting to see the feedback on this as well. So Gemini, that pretty much wraps up your October 2017 reading. I hope you have enjoyed it, that you found it helpful or useful in some ways, that perhaps it gave you a little bit of insight or food for thought. Again, if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on the About or Description button for my email address and a little more information. The email address is Maggie, the number 1, McGuire @gmail.com. That's MAGGIE, the number 1. MCGUIRE @gmail.com. I would be most happy to work with you. Gemini, I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the October 2017 mid-month readings. And until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. And I hope to see you back here again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.